Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV, and this is the match preview for Borussia Dortmund versus Newcastle in the Champions League ahead of tomorrow's big game. Before we get into the show and we go through your comments, if you like what you see, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel up the search. So please do smash that like. Thank you very much indeed. And if you're also brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe and be part of this great community we have here. And also that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows, and it is free to do so. Also, if you want to become a member, it's 99p. Just click the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that by hitting the $sign in the chat. All donations and goes back into the channel as well. Right, okay, so before we get into the show, and before I'm joined by Roly as well, look, we heard the news come out. Fabrizio Romano broke the news earlier on this evening, not long after 5 p.m, and it's regarding Dan Burn. It looks like Dan Burn could be out of action for a few months after coming down on his back, which when you saw it on Saturday, it didn't look great, if I'm honest. And I was surprised he actually played until half-time. So Dan Burn's going to be out for a few months. Murphy's going to be out for a little while. Target's going to be out for a while. He's going to require surgery on his hamstring. So we are down to the bare bones. So Lewis Hall may get some runouts. And hopefully he does. And it gives him a chance to establish himself. So that is the news regarding Dan Burn at the moment. I know we've probably all seen it by now. But yeah, very sad news that he's out for a few months. We wish him well in his recovery and hope he gets back as soon as possible, because he has been absolutely fantastic for us, Dan Burn. So it's, yeah, let's hope he gets back. And he's playing very soon. But thank God there's only 2 months till the January window, and maybe we can get a couple of reinforcements in. Right, just on this Tottenham game, Michael Oliver's gone to VAR. He's now sent off Pedro Porro for the foul, and obviously gave Chelsea a penalty by the looks of things. He was sent them on by the VAR. Yes, he is. Sterling was fouled in the area, and in fact, no, it's Enzo that was fouled as well. So yeah, I think there's been given. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know there's definite red card being given. Because Michael Oliver's explained it to Son, and Son's not happy about it.
We've already had a goal ruled out as well before this. 2 goals disallowed? Because the goal from that series of play was ruled offside.
In fact, it's not. It's Romero who's sent off. Sorry, Romero, not Porro. Sorry, it's Romero who's gone off, and they're going to bring Eric Dyer on now to shore up the reinforcements. But Tottenham's still winning this game anyway by 1-0. Right, so tomorrow we play. Brennan Johnson's been taken off for Eric Dyer to come on. So yeah, so sad news about Dan Burn having that injury now. Now, going back to Saturday's game, briefly, I did record Ref Watch, and I have watched it. And yes, they have got a penalty, by the way, Chelsea, and Cole Palmer is ready to take the spot kick. So before we go on to that, I'll just go through the spot kick if nobody's watching at the moment. Cole Palmer is waiting to take it. He steps up now, and it's in, off the post. It looks like Vicario got a hand to it, and then it went off the post and in. So Cole Palmer has scored for Chelsea, and it's now 1-0 at White Hart Lane. So there we go. Right. Yeah, so I recorded Ref Watch, and I've just watched some of it. And so Dermot Gallagher said, when you look at the ball out of play, first of all, he says, there's no conclusive evidence that that ball's definitely well out of place. He says the first one you look at, you can see the ball's sort of in. The second one makes it look as if it's out. But he says it's like when any player takes a corner. He says they'll put the ball outside the lane. He says, but there'll be a little bit of the ball that's touching the lane. He says that means that ball is definitely in there for a corner. So it's definitely in that circumference. So he says, basically, he says, that's what's happened with that ball. A little bit of it's been on the lane, and that's classed as being in play. So he says, because that's not conclusive, they can't do anything about that. He says the offside. He says the goalkeeper makes it a red herring. He says, but if you look at the goalkeeper as well, he says, because of where Anthony Gordon was, and by the time he got to the ball and put in the net, he says there's nowhere they can draw the lanes because there's no start-off position from Joe Linton. So they can't draw any lanes there. So he says, on that, you have to give it onside. He says, now for the foul on, he says, the Gabriel, Joe Linton duel, Dermot Gallagher says, I think that's a foul. I think he's been pushed to the ground by Joe Linton because Joe Linton has two hands on him. He says, but again, VAR's gone with the on-field decision. Because the referee's not seen anything wrong with it, they're not going to overrule the referee. So what they've done is they've said, no, it's a goal. Now, the interesting take was Stephen Warnock, the ex-Liverpool player, left back, and he said, I think you're wrong because I don't think it's a foul. And Stephen Warnock says, because he's been in that position himself. He says, and the thing is, if you put yourself in that position, you're watching for the ball coming over, so you're automatically going to stoop for that ball, and you're going to automatically go down to try and get your head on that ball or to block it. He says, now the best way for a defender, he says, is your defender has his back to the goal, so you can see the ball and you can see the player who's on the other side of you. He says, but you're back to the player who's behind you. He says, you're asking for trouble. So technically, he says, I don't think that's a foul. He says, in my mind, that goal stands all day long. And he says, and I still don't get why Arteta had to come out on Saturday and say he's embarrassed by the Premier League, embarrassed by that result. When a few weeks ago, Liverpool had a goal ruled out at Tottenham, which should never have been ruled out. And all Arteta said after the game was, well, mistakes happen, it's just human error. Why didn't he say that was an embarrassment back then? You know, he says, so he said for Arteta to come out and say it's an embarrassment now, he says, I don't buy it. He says, and the Arsenal statement, he says, is disgusting. He says, because technically, that statement, he says, all they're doing is they're just backing up what Arteta's saying. He says, at the end of the day, he says, it's not right. He says, so he says, I think Arteta possibly should maybe have just kept his mouth shut and said nothing, But he says at the end of the day, I think if he looks back now, Arteta might look at it and think, well, actually, no, they've gone with the VAR's gone with the referee. And he says at the end of the day, it's Gabriel's positioning. Now, the woman that's on there, Sue Smith, she says, no, I think it's a foul. Dermot Gallagher says it's a foul. Do you know what? Doesn't matter. We've won the game. But I just thought I'd put that out there from what was said on the ref watch on that. And on the Kai Havertz thing, Dermot Gallagher says, the only saving grace is, he says, when he took Longstaff out, he says it was the trailing leg. He says, now, had he caught him with a foot that was up, he says, Longstaff's not getting off the floor. He said, and that's the key. He says, and that's where he would have been sent off. But he says further on in the game, Havertz made a foul and shouldn't be on that pitch. He should have been sent off. So he says, Stuart Atwell missed a sitter there by not giving him a second yellow and sending him off when he should have been. So he said he was a very lucky boy to have played the whole 98 minutes, according to Dermot Gallagher. But he says that's the only thing that saved him from getting that red card was that trailing leg catching Longstaff, where if he'd caught him with the leg that was up, and like he said, there's no way Longstaff's getting off the floor. He says Andy would have been off for that, and he would have been facing a lengthy ban. So there we go. Right, let's get to some comments.
He also said that he didn't think the challenge by Bruno was a red. He thought that was a yellow. the one which he did, where everyone's moaning that he should have been sent off for. I mean, personally,
Yeah.
I thought it was a red, but he thought that was a yellow. But it was quite an interesting one. That, I mean, my reasoning for thinking it's not a foul is because if you look at the entirety of the game, most of the time the argument is that it would have been a foul anywhere else on the pitch. But in this game in particular, the way he was letting things go away, the fouls that he was letting go, the pushes he was letting go, were far worse than the supposed push on Gabriel. So in the context of the game and how it was ref, that wasn't a foul.
Postecoglou's being shown a yellow card now, the manager of Spurs. It's getting very feisty, this game now.
Yeah.
And then when he played 40 minutes. Holly says, hi, Tony and Roly. Hope we can get our revenge against Dortmund. I'll be happy with a win, but a draw. Hopefully we can get the win. Yeah, absolutely, Holly. Definitely. Mad Mac, evening all, disgusting. Arsenal release a statement backing Arteta's meltdown. Typical divert and distract tactics. After they got humiliated and had one bloody shot on target in 90 minutes. Absolutely. Definitely, mate. To be honest with you, why didn't they condemn the racism from their fans? That's what I can't understand. That wasn't condemned either. Evening, Tony and Uncle Roly says, Bia, good evening to you. Ian says, evening, Tony and Roly. Good evening to you, Ian. I hope you're well, mate. Gary says, hi, Tony and Ian and Bia. You're all okay? Yeah, we're absolutely fine, Gary. Thank you very much, mate. Alan says, evening, Tony. Been out for a while. Yeah, it's going to be a miss, but, maybe tomorrow we'll play Livermore right back and put Trippier left, because I can't see him bringing Hall in. Maybe he brings Hall in on Saturday, which I think will be a good move against Bournemouth, in all honesty. I know Eddie's not happy about the yellow card for Bruno on Saturday. He thinks the ref got that wrong. And he says it's annoying that he's going to miss the Bournemouth game. And I thought, well, actually, I'd rather he misses the Bournemouth game, in all honesty, than a game, say, against one of these so-called Big Six, as they keep mentioning. Holly says, Mikel Arteta will still be crying. Lee says, evening, Tony and everyone, how you all keeping? Come on, the mighty Toon Army. Fingers crossed, 2-1 win for us. Do you know what? Let's hope so, Lee. Let's hope so. We'll be getting into that soon. And Alan says, and hello to Roly. Lee says, all right, Roly. Wayne says, evening, Tony, Roly and all in chat. Hi, Wayne. Hope you're well, mate. Speedy recovery for Dan Byrne, absolutely. Far busy tonight again, Ian. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Harry, Tony in chat says, Ronald, yeah, mate, you too, mate. Hope you're all well as well. Everybody's seeing each other. Romaro should have already went. Gary says, evening to you, Roly.
Evening, Gary.
Biassi is Chelsea to win. Imposter Coglu to be exposed. No, Bia, not half time yet. Gary says, Tony Roly, can we have a show where it doesn't mention Arteta also? It's between them and the authorities. Nothing to do with us, but let them get on with it. Who cares? No, absolutely. I mean, look, I just thought I would just bring that up about, what was said in Ref Watch this morning. And I just thought it was quite interesting. Look, I'm not bothered what he's got to say. He's just a crybaby anyway, Arteta. Son already has a disallowed as well. Could have been 2-1 Spurs. Had an argument with the missus earlier. I won. She's going to be putting out a statement. Mad Max says, mine would do a Klopp here and be the demand in a rematch. Trevor says it's about time something went in the Toon's way, like most of the clubs. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, honestly, do you know what? You know what makes me laugh? It's these Arsenal fans on Twitter. And look, I come across one this morning and I just had to laugh. I just thought, what is this guy on? And what he put on, it's somebody called Guna Talk. I don't follow them. They're called Guna Talk. And it says, look, I hate to be that guy, but does anyone else find it strange that since the Premier League struck a big money deal for the PGMOL refs to officiate in the Saudi League games, that Saudi-owned Newcastle keep getting the prime time Saudi TV slot, 5:30 Saturdays, and keep getting favourable decisions? Oh, and guess who's on prime time next Saturday? Oh, it's Newcastle against Bournemouth. And I just thought, you salty get. You know? I thought, no, the problem, I'll tell you what it is. It's because we are now a big draw and people want to watch our football because of the football we play on anyhow. They want to watch that football. And it's not our fault the TV want to keep putting us on. So, 2nd of December, we play Man United, 8 p.m. kickoff. That's on TV. Oh, is that to do with us? No, not at all. Ronald says, the Arse fans on Twitter, X are determined cabbages and more admin on the official page is weighing them up because of it. Trevor says, did you see behind sports as a ball was in by an inch? Yeah, absolutely, mate, definitely. Love football. Everyone hates racism. Absolutely. Julie says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Tony and Roly. Good evening, Julie. Hope you're well. I still like your picture. You're Arteta there. Mad Max says, couldn't agree more, Tony. Rather we got Bruno's yellow out the way sooner rather than later. Absolutely. Do you know what? I'm not bothered he's missing the Bournemouth game. When he got that yellow card, do you know what? I didn't even think, oh, shit, he's out the next game. I just thought, oh, I don't mind him being out the next game.
Especially because Willock's fit. And he played really well when he came on.
There's 12 minutes of added on time for the first half, by the way.
One of the Spurs centre-halves has pulled his hamstring.
Yeah.
Van de Ven, was it?
Yeah. Mickey Van de Ven, yeah. But there's 12 minutes of added on time. Holly says Livermore will step up big style against Dortmund. Ronald says, I didn't see Roly first. Sorry, Harriet.
All right,
Coffee, hi, Tony, Roly and all. Hi, Coffee, hope you're well. Julie says, I like Postecoglou, better for Spurs than Conte. Yeah, he's done a better job, isn't he? Holly says, well said, Tony, down with the Gunners, yeah. Splat says, evening, Tony and Roly. Good evening, Splat. Hope you're well.
Madison's been substituted off as well because he's hurt his ankle.
They're pressing a few weeks, don't they, Spurs? Spicy game, this one. No Chelsea or Spurs staff or fans or players crying at this time. No. Ronald says, I did chuckle Rashford telling Man U page that they were posting shite. Do you know what it is? It's funny, though, how all of a sudden Ten Hag slates him on the Friday about going out to the club. Why didn't he do this before the Newcastle game? Why is he waited till Friday to slate him and then, to say it's not acceptable? And then Rashford's out the game with a supposed leg injury. No, I tell you what that is. Rashford didn't take kindly to Ten Hag slating him in public, so he said to him, I'm not playing tomorrow, stuff you, pal. And he's probably and that's probably what's happened. Billy, hi, mate, hope you're well. He says, haha, Spuds, absolutely, mate. Let's hope they get beat tonight. It's about time they lost the game. Gary says, Bruno went all out to pick up a yellow. He knew what he was doing. He did. You could see it. He was waiting for a yellow card.
It is mental.
Coffee says, I think their fans are saying behind is corrupt and they make the lines courtesy of a certain Mr. Goldbridge, whose channel was apprehended today by Rashford, who told them not to make up stories. Look, Mark Goldbridge is an utter bellend. He really is, okay? He went on Talk Sport, spouting off a load of shite about us yet again. I really can't stick that guy. I really can't. Go back to supporting your little club, Man United, and, don't rant on about us, Goldbridge. We're not interested. You're just a complete knob. Alan says we're on TV a lot. Lots of people want to watch Newcastle, but that's what Sky wants. Long may it continue. We were like that in the 90s. We were on quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and the entertainers.
Lee says, just jealous. Fans hate us for doing well. It's great seeing us having success and being one big happy family. Absolutely. Galan could do a better job than Conte. Wayne says, another reason why they are all against us, it's not just the so-called Big Six or the Saudis, it's because all their toughy-nosed southern fairy twats and we're working-class northeasterners, absolutely. Trevor says, why Arsenal are called Arsenal? As the arses went and moaned, now it went their way. Madison going off, not for good for my FPL. Fantasy Premier League. Play Chelsea as well, Tony, on the 25th. Yeah, and they're beatable. Yes, they are. Julie says, I think Dortmund are beatable. Well, I don't think Dortmund want this game tomorrow, if I'm honest, but we'll come into that in a moment anyway. They have Dyer on now, says Billy. Absolutely, Billy. Rashford probably going to a party, says Lee. Yeah. They probably thought it was going to be a second party for Ten Hag, but that last gasp win against Fulham, which the Man U fans are all over Ten Hag again. Oh, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, let's be honest. Fulham handed that on a plate to you. That's why they won that game. If Fulham hadn't been stupid at the back and just got rid of that ball, Man U wouldn't have won that game. And Ferret Face wouldn't have scored. That bloke needs to go kicking. He's the biggest prick, Goldbridge, yeah. Goldbridge's little club is Forest, but he wouldn't have as many subscribers as he pretends to be a Man U fan. Billy says, Eric Dyer, for fuck's sake, they'd be better off digging up Eric Morecambe. Nice one, Billy. Evening, Tony and Roly, says Trolls. Good evening, Trolls. Coffee says they call him Eric Diabolical. Max says Arteta was praising the refs and VAR last month. Yeah, absolutely. Guy's a total knob jockey. Obviously, he hasn't learned a lot from Pep because he wouldn't be like that. Pep's not like that. Pep would have just said, fair enough, it's a goal, it's a goal. They hate it because the Big Six split up. Yeah, absolutely, that's why, because we're ruining the party. Even Man U fans here, Goldbridge, says Julie. Wayne says, do you think that last comment I made, Tony, was a bit harsh? No, not at all, mate. No. Hey, do you know what? We're a Newcastle channel. We're all entitled to our opinions, mate. So don't worry about that. You're absolutely fine. Eric Diarrhea, says Julie. that about sums him up, doesn't it, Eric Diarrhea? But yeah. 53 minutes played now. Like I say, there's still another 5 minutes of this game to go before it's even half time. It's crazy, isn't it, to think? 12 minutes of added on time. It's like being back at the World Cup again, isn't it, in Qatar, when all that injury time was being added on. So, so we go to Dortmund tomorrow. 5:45 kick-off, by the way, so it's an early one. So it'll be a dash home from work for me. And then once I get home, it'll be a quick change into my Newcastle top and in front of that TV, ready for it coming on BT Sports Ultimate. So, look, on Saturday, obviously we went out, we beat Arsenal, and we're obviously on fire from Saturday. We're on a high because we've gone out there, done the business with Arsenal, got the 3 points. Okay, it may have come at a little bit of a cost because we've lost Dan Burn, out of that game, and which is a bit of a shame in a way. So losing Dan Burn, not great, but again, Livramento can always play on the right, and Burn can always move. Trippier can always move to the left. So it's not a fact that there's quite a lot of cards being given in this game. Trippier can go left back, so it's not really a massive crisis if with Burn not playing. But we need him back as soon as he can get back. But anyway, Dortmund, on the other hand, hang on, there's a bit of a fight going on, yeah, between Chicken Royale and Saar and Corville and Gallagher. Gallagher's getting involved in pushing Corville away. It's getting a bit nasty now. So anyway, Dortmund played into Klassiker on Saturday at their stadium, and Bayern Munich came to town, and Bayern Munich smashed them 4-0, including this guy picking up a hat-trick, Harry Kane, who is on fire at the minute. Absolutely on fire in German football. Absolutely loved by the Munich fans, and rightly so. One of the top strikers in Europe at the moment. 15 goals in 10 games and 5 assists. Can't go wrong with that, can you? So, do Dortmund... Sorry, I'm just going to break off because VAR's checking for a possible red card here. Reece James' elbow into the side of a Spurs player. And I don't know. No, check complete. No foul. That looked a bit dodgy. But yeah, so look, Dortmund getting beat well and truly 4-0. Do Dortmund want to play this game tomorrow? Probably not. They are probably thinking this game's probably come at a worse time for them because they've just taken the hammer off Bayern Munich. This is our chance to get at Dortmund. They'll be hurt. Dortmund, don't get me wrong, they'll be hurt. Obviously, they'll probably have Julian Brandt back because, he played on Saturday. And he's one hell of a player, Julian Brandt, by the way. And I rate that guy really highly. So Dortmund, they won't want this game tomorrow. We'll want this game because we just want the games to come as quickly as they can, especially when you're on a winning run. It's going to be a tricky game, We're going to the yellow wall, as it's called, and it's going to be very tricky indeed. But we've got to go there with the confidence to go and try and win the game, and if we can win the game, even better. But as I say, it is a hard stadium to go to. But we do really need to turn the tie around and get that win and get back into second place above Dortmund as well. And who knows, if AC Milan for some reason beat PSG, then when we go top of that group, who knows? But before I come on to Roly's thoughts on the game tomorrow, I'm just going to get into some comments here as well. But I can't wait. I really can't wait for tomorrow night. It's going to be a really good match. Troll says there isn't a top 6. It's 5 because I don't put City in with the rest of the rabble. Yeah, well said, Trolls. I agree with you about playing Hall at left back. He's ready. Yeah, he is ready, absolutely. I'm just thinking how he's going to play it. I think he's just going to play... I just think he's going to put... Trippier at left back. I've got that feeling there'll be more sendings off in this match, says Trevor. I think there will be. I need to listen to Janis Joplin's song Cry Baby. Could Isak make the bench this weekend? I don't think so. I think he's not risking till after the international break. Ian says this match is feisty, isn't it? It's really turned up the heat, hasn't it? Splat says, woohoo, I'm off tomorrow, so no rush for me. Julie said, Eddie said after the international break, but Eddie has told Porkies before we weren't expecting Murphy, were we? No, I think Murphy come back too early, though. That's the problem. I think Murphy made himself available. Mag says, Chicken Royale. That's what I call him. I've always called him that. Imagine Joe Linton against this bunch of Muppets. He'd destroy them all, wouldn't he just? Livramento is a good replacement. No worries about him, says Alan. Absolutely not. Eddie gives nothing away. Absolutely. Reece James, massively overrated. A bit like the Chicken Royale. I prefer the McNuggets, says BF Aiken. Do you know what? I don't even think Reece James is that great of a player, in all honesty. I don't. I know, yes, a couple of years ago when he came to St James's Park, we had Cabbage Heat in charge. He destroyed us that day. But you know what? I don't think he's that great.
I think he's a good.
To play tomorrow. I'll tell you what, Reece James is not in the same bracket as Kieran Trippier. Let's put it that way. And that's not having my black and white hat on. That is me saying it as it is. I don't think he's in the same bracket as Trippier. Even if Trippier wasn't playing for us, I would still say Reece James isn't in the same mould as Trippier.
I think Reece James has been held back because he's had a lot of injuries over the last couple of years. Before that, he probably was at that particular time, but Trips is just, I mean, for a guy in his 30s, he's playing the best football of his career.
Yeah. Troll says Lee Gunnar saying if Joe Linton pushed Gabriel, you'd have been in the net. I mean, look, I watched Lee Gunnar this morning, and him and his mate, they basically said, look, it's not the fact that they lost the match. He says Arsenal didn't turn up. He says, but they've been like this for a while. He says, and it was just all of a sudden for when it was going to happen. And he says, it's no good blaming VAR for it. He says, VAR's not to blame. Arteta's to blame the way Arsenal are playing at the moment. So, you know, and they're saying it how it is. And Lee Gunnar's a very good podcaster.
I mean, there are a few Arsenal pods saying similar. And they're saying that, well, if they played to the whistle and defended properly, we wouldn't have scored, so they wouldn't need to be upset because they stopped when the ball went out the box. Willett didn't. Raya was out of position. And Gabriel wasn't strong enough. And so if they defended it properly, I mean, Gabriel was in position to clear that. If he attacked that ball coming in, he clears it, and then they get a point. But they didn't. So that's why they lost.
Splatsy, I think Dortmund don't want this game because we are unpredictable. I just wish we had the opportunity to have Trippier, Botman and Tino back for they'd be a new wall in town, says Mad Mag. Clarky says, hi guys. Hi to you, Clarky. There certainly will be Mad Mag eventually. That'll be a team. The Spurs-Chelsea game's been incredible, hasn't it just? Yeah, it's been full of incidents, hasn't it? Matey Win says, evening all, I'm late again. Hey, don't worry, mate. You're absolutely fine. Remember, Miley is back fit. Yes, he could be on the bench tomorrow. Might have a few kids on the bench, and we might have 3 keepers on the bench. Have I missed the team prediction? Not yet, matey, when we haven't been there yet. So, yeah. James is pure quality, to be fair, says Matey Win. Well, he is quality, but I don't really rate him that highly, to be fair. I think he just looks like he's got an attitude problem as well. Have you noticed under Mr. Blobby you could get tickets for the tune now? They're like gold dust. Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Do you know what? I was just thinking Mr. Blobby, and I'm thinking, oh, I know who you mean now, yes. Or, as we used to call him, the fat cockney bastard, yes. Well, he still is. Space Hopper Balls, hello. Hi, mate. Hope you're well. So, I mean, look, we've got 25 watching. We've got 17 likes so far. If you'd like to smash that like, please do so. Only takes a couple of seconds, helps the channel up the search results, and keeps the channel up there so new viewers can find it. And if you're also brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe and come be part of this great community here. And that bell notification lets you know when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. It's back to the comments before I get to Roly. Clark says, James has done the Bruno forearm and got away with it. Yeah. Troll says, I fear the match tomorrow with the fans they have to be honest. It's 11v11. Team prediction is the first 11 who can get up the steps of the plane unaided, says Gary. Coffee says, Arsenal fans seeing Gabriel was pushed, but he's a defender, of course. He's going to get pushed. Well, look here, sometimes you've got to have contact. You're never going to not. If Joe Linton's going to jump up, how's he going to jump up without leaning on something to get help elevate? You know, it's just stupid. Mighty Wint says, Lee Gunner, I'm not even lying. Tony Toon, absolutely. I mean, look, yeah, I mean, even he said, Lee Gunner, he'd take Ivan Tony. Roly, I know that wine you're drinking, bud. Lovely wine, says Wayne. And spot on as usual, GM. Roly, your thoughts ahead of this game tomorrow? I mean, you know, do Dortmund really want this game tomorrow after getting the hammering off Bayern Munich and Harry Kane teaching them a lesson how to score goals?
To be honest, when you look at us, when we've got hammered, we've come out fighting. Look at last season when we got smashed by Villa. The next game, we came out fighting. When we got beaten by Brighton this season, came out and won the next match. It really depends on the bounce back ability Dortmund have. I don't know whether they have it or not. I don't know how it will affect them psychologically. Of course, they could have wanted an easier tie, but they know that the group we're in is hard. They're a top side playing in a tough league. I wouldn't expect them to be two-phased. This one is those ones where we need to be professional and do our job, and we can win. They did a job on us at St James's. Hit us on the break, scored. I mean, there's no reason why we can't win this game. We're going to have to go out with the attitude to do that. Right, we've got injuries, but we're still playing well and still beating teams with sort of second string players in the starting lineup. We beat Man United in the Carabao Cup, which with what some of their fans called our C team. I think the good beauty of our squad is, right, we've got lots of injuries, but the people coming in have stepped up their game.
Yeah.
A season ago, we look at last season, the thought of Lascelles coming in to replace Botman for anything more than 1 or 2 games was frightening. Now, you think, Lascelles, no problem. Because he's raised his game so much. It's a bit of a blow that Dan Burn is out, but in a way, it can help us because Tino is as good defensively, if not better. He's better going forward, and he's quicker, or he gets up to speed quicker. So what we're worrying about in all our Champions League games is people targeting Dan Burn because his lack of pace. Well, we don't have that problem because if we have Trippier on the left because he's decent, he's got decent speed, and Tino on the right. I think the other thing is they won't know much about Tino, so that will help us. But we do lose a bit on the height, though Tino's not small. Dan Burn's a giant. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a tough game, but then we're used to tough games. We've had so many over the last, 6 weeks or so. I'm quietly confident, but it's going to be like the one at St James's Park. It could go either way.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, Roly. I really do. I mean, I think Anthony Gordon will be massive tomorrow for us as well. I mean, we
Yeah,
know what he brings to the team. Um, you've only got to look at Anthony Gordon's stats even on Saturday. He made 4 tackles in the game. Um, first in the game, for the tackles wise, match rank first. He won possession 7 times off the Arsenal players. Uh, his pressures was 39 pressures in the game, and he got his goal as well. So he was first in everything in that game. That's why Sky gave him player of the game, player of the match.
I
And if
still
you look
think
at, and as I say, if you look at the best minutes per goal in the whole of Europe at the moment, Callum Wilson's the third best striker in Europe on minutes per goal. Top of that list is Guarassi, who plays in Spain. He's got 14 goals every 46 minutes. Harry Kane is on 15 goals every 58 minutes. Wilson's got 7 goals every 69 minutes. Erling Haaland's on that list, but he's like 5th in that list. And Jude Bellingham's at the bottom of that list. I mean, Wilson's even above Lautaro Martinez and Kylian Mbappe.
isn't Isak's in that list? Isak should be in that list, isn't
He's not on that list, no.
he? It must be just outside it because in the Premier League, I think
Yeah,
he's sort of like fourth.
yeah,
Well, it's behind. I know. Was he third? It's behind obviously Wilson and Haaland. I don't think anyone else has got more better goals per minute.
yeah. Isak's. But yeah, but in terms of that, I mean, look, that just shows how good Callum Wilson's been. To considering he's the third best in Europe, isn't it? And he's above Erling Haaland. I mean, Erling Haaland's. I mean, like I say, Wilson's a goal every 69 minutes. Erling Haaland's a goal every 85 minutes. So
I think last guy. I think Isak's about every 89 minutes, something like that.
something like that, isn't it, Roly? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, it's. I mean, the Isak one. This is in the Premier League this season. Best minutes per goal. Callum Wilson's top of the list. Alexander Isak's second on 83 minutes. Erling Haaland's 89 minutes, every 89 minutes. Then you've got Chan Wang, who plays for Wolves, every 99 minutes. And Son, who's on every 100 minutes, a goal every 100 minutes. So there you go. That's the thing. We are definitely. But the thing is, though, people can say, like, oh, they keep saying, we're buying this, we're doing this, we're doing that. No, we're not buying it. I mean, look, like I say, against Man United last week, 8 of that team were from the previous regime, and and some of these fans forget that, I laughed at the Man United fan who come out and says, oh, we'll win this tonight, we'll smash them tonight. He says, because we own this cup, we own this trophy, and they're not getting anywhere near it. And I thought, hang on a minute, mate, you do not own that trophy. No club owns that trophy. It's there for every club. This is the problem with Man United fans. They just think they can win everything they want, but they can't. And why they're not winning everything? Because they're shite, that's why. Yeah. That win on Saturday probably just papers over the cracks for Ten Hag, because as soon as they lose in that game, he's going to be under pressure again, isn't he, from the fans, And the Norwich scarves will be out. The Norwich fans will be in the stadium. I think that's the only time you see about 70,000 Norwich fans, when they've all got their scarves out. I'm just going to go into some comments and then we'll talk about lineups and things like that. It's been some interesting comments coming in here, mate. Ronald says, I think White Sauvignon Blanc. Myself, I married a bird who I was a married bird I was seeing. Oh, God, okay. Got me on it instead of Brunel and Guinness. Aye, aye, Ronnie. Bias says we should play whole left back tomorrow. Well, we could do, because, I mean, look, he had a good game against Man United, didn't he? You know? Trevor says, you know what it is? as they know morning and a player gets dropped, is the togetherness now. Absolutely. Yeah, there's not any of that now. No. Splat says the thing is we have a good mentality when we play. We don't let things phase us. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mighty Win says last night I swore Lasser she fancied a role playing. Oh God, I've not mentioned that. Ali Coffee says Messi won the World Cup. Haaland won the treble. Julian Alvarez won both. So how did Julian Alvarez not win Ballon d'Or? Well, because the first word in your comment, he was always going to win Ballon d'Or, wasn't he, Messi? Did Saturday not knock Callum's average minutes per goal down somewhat? No, that's what Sky put up there, so no, mustn't have. Wayne says, you're right, Roly, we are going to have to play well, but we do think we can get a result. I'll tell you my prediction when you come to it.
I think we can get a result against anybody.
I would never have guessed you loved Win the Leap. Isak was definitely up there before his injury. Yeah, he was, definitely. Eddie getting that lad to sing a song about Hughie Gallagher was good. Hughie was a goal machine who liked to slurp, says Ronald. Like Chelsea and City didn't buy trophies as well. Exactly, absolutely. Alan says team has come through a tough test in the past 10 days. Bring on the Germans, absolutely. Man U's days are over now. Alex Ferguson seen it coming, says Lee. Well, that's why he left, didn't he? Well, remember, Fergie's last game was a 5-5 draw, wasn't it, against West Brom? Tragic ending for Hughie Gallagher as well. Ferguson got out of Man U at the right time because he knew things were going to start changing. So he thought, well, I've won me 12 Premier League trophies. I'm going to start leaving now and I'm going to go. Leave on a high. That's the way to do it. Leave on a high. And then whoever comes in after Fergie was always going to be the tough job, and that was David Moyes. You know,
it's always the way when you have a highly successful manager and they leave. The guy following is on a hiding to nothing. It happened to Manchester United when Sir Matt Busby left. It took him decades to get back to winning titles. So Liverpool had it when basically after Dalglish left. He inherited a really good side from Bob Paisley. Once he left, it took Liverpool decades to win a title.
Yeah. I mean, I look at tomorrow thinking, so, right, game-wise, so team-wise, who am I thinking? Right, so this is a team that I would probably go with tomorrow. Now, I'm going to tell the defence in two ways, though. So, first of all, Pope will be in goal. Now, defence. Now, okay, so this is defence selection 1. So, defence selection 1 is Livramento, Lascelles, Cher, Trippier. Defence selection 2 is Trippier, Lascelles, Cher, and Hall. So it'll be either one of those two back fours we'll have tomorrow. Which way Eddie goes, we do not know. He may put Trippier left back. He would prefer to keep Trippier right back tomorrow in this game because he might want a more natural left back at left back rather than Trippier going there. So that's what I'm saying. That's either one of those two formations. So it'll definitely be one of those two. But if I'm looking at Eddie Howe, I'm thinking the back four that he's going to pick tomorrow is going to be Trippier right back, Lascelles, Shea, Hall on the left. That is the back four I think he'll pick tomorrow. Now I've said that, he's probably watching this show and he's probably saying, well, I'm going to stuff your lineup up tomorrow because I'm going to play somebody totally different. And and remember, we've got no Manquillo either. He can't play left back because he's out injured as well. So we've got no Manquillo. So in midfield, I think it'll definitely be Bruno because he won't be playing Saturday. So he'll play Bruno tomorrow. Joe Linton will play definitely, and Longstaff. Up front, it's going to be Mickey, Callum Wilson, Anthony Gordon. Willock may start on the bench in this game. Unless he decides to change things about and he puts Willock on instead of, say, Joe Linton, but I can't see it. But that's a team I'm going for tomorrow. Pope in goal. Trippier, Lascelles, Shea, Hall, Bruno, Longstaff, Joe Linton, Mickey, Wilson, Gordon up front. But I think Willock starts on the bench tomorrow, but then he could come off the bench as well. Because I think Willock will start on the reason I'm saying Willock will start on the bench tomorrow, because I think Willock starts on Saturday in place of Bruno, who is suspended. So that is my team, Roly. What is your thought and what is your team?
I get slightly different from you. At the back four is where my main difference is. I'm starting Livramento on the right and Trippier on the left. Something that you've been asking for weeks when you thought that Dan Burn needed a rest. It does need a rest now. Midfield picks itself at the moment. Longstaff, Joel Linton, and Bruno. And the front three again picks itself. Gordon, Almiron, and Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, alternatively, he could play Tino Livramento on the left, couldn't he? Because he can play left back as well.
Yeah, he could, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm just thinking that's the way Eddie might go. Trippier, Lascelles, Shea, Hall, I think. But then it could be like... But that's why I give you the two different selections, because I don't know which one I'm going to favour. You see? So, I mean, the one I would say would be, putting Trippier on the left. But I just think with it being the game against Dortmund tomorrow, and it's a big game, I can't see him playing Trippier on the left. I know he played on the left for England against Scotland and had a fantastic game.
I just don't think that he's going to give Hall the start in such a big game.
But then we played Man United in the big game, the Carabao Cup.
That's Man United. It's Carabao Cup. It's a weakened team, and this game is feisty at the moment,
isn't it? Just
it's the Carabao Cup. Manchester United is shit. I don't think he'd start Hall for this one. Might bring him on.
Might do.
Oh, there's another red card. The second yellow. So that's, is it Basuma?
Yeah.
No, it's Udogie.
Udogie,
yeah. So Spurs are now down to
9 men.
9 men. Yeah, definite yellow.
And the thing is, Spurs are going to have no place for Saturday, are they? They've got Wolves away on Saturday at 12:30 Spurs.
Mm.
So if they're without, say, them players and Madison, this is where they're going to start tripping up, I think. And we'll all be cheering Luton Town on Saturday because they're away to Man United.
Oh. How unlucky were they yesterday against Liverpool?
Yeah, they should have beat Liverpool, really. They should have. But I tell you what it is, though. If they go to Man U and win at Man United, tell you what,
10 peg will
their
be real.
fans are going to go to total meltdown. And I could see it. I could see it happening. I really could. I could see it. I could see Luton going there and grinding out a win.
They're a hard-working side.
Yeah, because now they've got the grips of the Premier League.
I mean, they're the only one of the promoted teams that seem to have got it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hang on, this could be 2-1 to Chelsea. Oh, it's a save by Vicario. And another save by Vicario from Cole Palmer, but it's offside now. He seems to be quite a good keeper, that Vicario, doesn't he? Mike's asking a question. What's the record for sendings off in the game? 5. Because once you get 5 players sent off, the game's abandoned.
Oh.
So normally what happens is teams normally, if they've got 4 players sent off, another player will deliberately get sent off, especially if they're getting walloped, just to get the game abandoned. So, yeah. So that's what they normally do. I mean, look, we've got... I mean, don't forget, next month, we get the third round draw for the FA Cup, so who are we getting the third round this time? Hopefully, not League One opposition.
It'll probably be Liverpool.
We're sick of it.
Or Man City. The way our draws have been in the Champions League and the Carabao Cup, it'll be Liverpool and Man City away.
I mean, look, yesterday, there was an interesting game, wasn't there? Charlton Athletic versus Cray Valley Paper Mills. A team from the 8th tier, and they held Charlton to 1-1 draw and got a replay at their own ground now. So, you know, the thing is, these teams, when they get the second round of the FA Cup, they want to try and get through that third round because they know they could have a drama tie in a big club.
Yeah.
And that's what they're looking for, because they get a good payday out of it. That's why the non-league teams go hell for leather to try and get through the rounds. And that Cray Valley Paper Mills, who drew with Charlton, have already, before they played Charlton, have already played 8 games in the FA Cup just to get to the first round. I think that's what I love about the FA Cup, because you've just got these non-league teams that come in, you know. It's just great for the FA Cup. I think it is, especially when as many of them get the third round. I mean, look, we saw it a couple of seasons ago, and I think it was the 5th round or something. Kidderminster Harriers nearly beat West Ham. You know, just lost
the FA Cup. These teams getting into the third round can keep them in business for a couple of years from the payday they get from it if they get a big club.
Right, let's have a look at some of these comments. Mikey Wynn says, yeah, I used to get asked the old timers who were lucky enough to have seen Huey, who was our best number 9, Huey Milburn, Davies, or Supermac, they all say Len White. Well before my time. Ronald says, I've read about him in the past, Ian, and he lived up the heat. Alan says, is Kraft injured again? Oh, not that I've heard of. No, don't know.
No, I don't. So he was on the training video.
Willock's a good option to come off the bench. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, Leicester Ben never got over it drunk and walked in front of a train. So sad. Oh, not good, mate, not good. Wilson's minutes need to be managed, says Bia. Is
We'll
he
do
in more
about
Champions League squad? Don't know who they're on about. Kraft, I think. Got to be Trips, Jamal, Fab, and Tino, says Mighty Win. Watch Farley with the interview. Karen Arteta laughed so hard when bankrupt. Bia says Trippier on the left. You can get away with against San Marino, North Macedonia, and the Faroe Islands.
He played on the left against Italy.
Yeah, and I thought you had a good game. Wayne says, we're lucky because we're going to have King Eddie for decades to come, lads. Absolutely. Tino on the right, says Mighty Win. What a chance Chelsea just blew. Yeah. I think Hall on the left side is a much bigger risk than Tino on the right and Trips left. Yeah, I agree. Dummett left back an option. Pope, Trippier, Lascelles, Cher, Liverment or Longstaff, Bruno, Big Joe, Mickey, Gordon and Wilson, says Wayne. I think that sounds about the right team anyway. Yeah.
I don't think he'll start Willock just because he's not started, done a full 90 minutes. And we're going to need him against Bournemouth at the weekend.
Alan says Spurs' undefeated record in jeopardy now, isn't it just? Ronald says some of the comments on Darren's skit, though, trolls, was way too serious. I'll have to have a check out of that. Mighty Max, Mad Max says, even though we are riddled with injuries and there may be people who say the lack of death is brilliant to see, but how much faith we have now, young lads coming through the ranks. Hall, Tino, and Miley, absolutely. Julie's got this match on now. What's the record? Oh, yeah, we did that one. Coffee says Vicario's a great upgrade in goalkeeper. Yeah, from the Reese he is. Vicario's pulled off some awesome stuff. Hey?
Lloris had been a good keeper.
Had. He's a has-been.
Yeah.
The current record for the most red cards shown in one game is 36. 36? Chelsea still seem a mismatch of players. Yeah, they do. It's a team full of individuals. That's why that Mudryk, I really do not rate him. And I think £100 million was well overpriced. Look,
the Chelsea way at the moment.
He seems to just run and run and run. That's all he seems to do.
It's the Chelsea way at the moment is to overpay the players.
Yeah. They've got a corner now, Chelsea. High BX just put the ball out. We got J7 lads as well, hopefully. Next gen of Brazilian Geordies. Absolutely. Ronald says, I want the Mackhams in the FA Cup as I didn't want them up in the Premier League. Do you know what? Take them in the FA Cup, we'll absolutely smash them. Because they wouldn't know what hit them. And let's play at the stadium as shite and just beat them there as well. And say, up yours for your 6 in a row. Bruno and Joe Linton both called up from Brazil. Nice one, Julie. Stephen says, remember Hereford? We never forget that one. We keep getting it rubbed in our faces. Ronnie Radford, don't we?
Yeah. Every football focus and match of the day for the FA Cup, they always show that goal.
Yeah.
And that's it's like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
They still show it. And it's not like there haven't been other upsets since then.
I felt sorry for Luton, should have won. Yeah, it just had to be Diaz to score the equaliser, didn't it, you know? I mean, it's a shame that his dad's been kidnapped and all that. I remember Hereford and Stevenage. Yeah, Stevenage beat us as well under Alan Pardew. I remember when we played Stevenage down at their stadium when they were in the non-league. and we drew 1-1 there, and we came back because there was a player called Grazioli scored for them. It was on fire at the time, but we brought them back to St James's Park and beat them 5-0. Alan says, I would love to get the Mackhams on the FA Cup as well. Kraft not registered for Champions League games. That's the thing, Julie, yes. Because there was a thing out there that some players are not registered. So, yeah, maybe he's not. And Wayne says, Luton have got some big, strong players in their side. FA Cup's like the Grand National now. One of the favourites wins 9 years out of 10, says Mighty Win. Ian says, I remember a Celtic Rangers game where 5 players sent off in the game that was abandoned, caused chaos. Apparently Martinez is a good keeper. He had a stinker yesterday. Yeah, then they had the cheek to bloody check it for offside, and I thought, Jesus, if they'd have flagged it offside, he got away with that then, but they didn't, so just made him look like a bigger twat than he already is. I can't stand that bloke because he's so smarmy, he just thinks he's great, doesn't he? I mean, look the way he was so disrespectful at the World Cup when he got the Golden Glove. Martinez is good, but when in a shithouse made, he's useless. Wayne says, Tony, I love the FA Cup. A cup would love to see us win. Close over the years, but never quite got there. Yeah, I remember the 2 finals. I was in tears at the end of both of them when we lost. I was just like, can't understand it.
Well, yeah, two really, really good teams at the top of their game. But we never turned up. We turned up for a bit, hit the post, and then they went, was it the Arsenal or the Man United? They hit the post, and then we hit the post, and then they went straight up the other end and scored. Make it 2-0 and the game was over.
Mad Max says, I love a bit of shithousen, Julie, but everything he does rubs me up the wrong way for some reason. Julie says, the shit Colaccini's just missed a sitter, and Cucurella.
Yeah.
Mackham's won it in 73. Heard about it forever since, says Julie. Yeah. Bit like they're 6 in a row they keep shouting about against us. Well, when we go there and if we go to the stadium and shout and hammer them 8-0 on their doorstep, then, we can say, well, actually, we'll just beat 8-0, so, Jacob Murphy's the master of shithousery, says Julie. He is. Remember Southampton last year? Aye. Murphy waves lives in my head. Rent free, says Mad Mag. Oh yeah, do you know what? Absolutely. It was just brilliant when he did that, wasn't it? Just pure shithousery. That's exactly what that is. Pure shithousery from Murphy. It's great. We've got that now, innit? Stephen says, Ronnie Radford, rest in peace, but we beat Man U in a game after that 2-0 at Old Trafford. Yes, we did, didn't we? Ronald says, my old schoolmate, Paul Thompson, was captain for Stevenage in a replay against us at St James's Park. And we just got past him. He played for the Hedenal, ex-Newcastle boy. Nice one. Southampton now one of my favourites out of all of his antics. Been to Wembley with the 2-8 times now. Still waiting for the first one. Mercantile credit doesn't count. Oh, God, bloody hell. That's going back to, isn't it? FA Cup final, got it. I was watching it in Ireland when I was on a fishing holiday with the lad. The Mackhams won it in 73, but you have to remember they were the best team in Sunderland at the time. Wayne, I've never heard that, Tony. Bad, that, like. I mean, look, yeah, we love the FA Cup, and but anyway, we love the Champions League as well. And, Champions League, where's the final held at? Wembley. But I don't think we'll be going there for that. We may get to Wembley for the League Cup, but I don't think we'll get there for the Champions League. But again, who knows? Anything can happen.
Yeah.
It's all how you turn up. Mudrik's just run into Pedro Porro and he's gone down as if he's been shot.
It's not a good player, Mudrik.
He isn't, is he? He's just he's just poor player. I don't think he's that great. I'm still trying to see what he actually brings to the team because I don't see anything. Yeah, you can do it in the Ukrainian league, but that's a totally different league to the Premier League.
Yeah.
We're still being linked with that Armenian player from Russia, along with Man City as well. So
You never know. We're linked to a lot of players.
Remember the youth team winning the FA trophy, says Lee. Yeah. In terms of tomorrow, right, I just want to see the team go out there and do the best they can with the limited resources we've got now, because we've got a few players dropping like flies. But look, I think we've got a good enough team to go out there and win tomorrow. Look, we were unlucky. We hit the bar. We hit the woodwork a few times, so we could have won that game easily. So I think tomorrow we could have our shooting boots on. I think we could go out there and beat Dortmund. I really do. It all depends how they play and how Julian Brandt plays. But if we can stop Julian Brandt, then we've got a great chance. I'm going to say we'll win 2-0 tomorrow. I can see it happening. Yeah, I think.
Can't really disagree with you. I think we win.
Roly?
Can't really disagree with you. I think we win.
Yeah.
Whether it's 2-0 or not, I don't know, but I think we edge it.
Sterling. Oh, that's it. It's 2-1 Chelsea. Michael Jackson scored.
They made hard work of it against 9 men.
Yeah. It's not Michael Jackson, by the way. It was a joke. But it is that M. Jackson who scored.
You're a little bit ahead of me.
Yeah. Vicario's questioning his defence. Well, you've only got 9 men on the pitch. What do you expect, Nick Jackson? That's the one. I was joking when I said Michael Jackson. If there's any Michael Jackson fans, I do apologise. Oh, hang on. He could be offside, yeah, He's offside. Surely VR's looking at this. Good ball from Sterling, though. Sterling's not been the same player since he's left Man City.
Yeah. I think it's a case of you're lowering your standards.
I'm just trying to work out if it's going to be a VR check on this because that did look offside. Oh, there is a VR check. I was going to say he did look off, mind Jackson.
I thought it was the guy that played him in. Looked off.
Oh, he's onside. He's been given it. He looked off, that was all, but he's onside. Oh, hang on, they're still checking. Don't know what's going on here. No, it's been given.
Yeah, he's onside.
So 2-1 to Chelsea now over Spurs. Looks like Spurs are on their way to losing that first goal.
He just timed it right. It did look offside to start off with, but when they froze it, you could see he's onside.
Mighty Win says when the Mackems got to Wembley against Liverpool, who was their last player to touch the ball? I'll give you a clue. It was in the first half. Mudrick is shite, says Mag Debates. Coffee says 4-0 Newcastle, goals from Gordon, Lascelles, Livermento and Dummett. Dummett. Do you remember when Dummett scored against Man U from inside the box when Rooney had put them 3-2 ahead and we equalised 3-3 at St James's Park? Remember, everyone, it's a 5:45 kickoff, absolutely. After their buy-in drubbing, we'll smack them, says Mighty Win. Going for there tomorrow, but still haven't got a ticket. Enjoy, mate, and stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe.
Jackson. Ronald says I was in hospital when I was a young'un. Wickham won the FA Vars and the lasses weren't happy watching the shared telly. Michael Jackson scored, says Coffee. It's catching on, Coffee, innit? You liked that one, didn't you? I thought everybody liked that one. Trolls has far done its job. Yeah. Spurs have scored now. Højbjerg. No, it's not. It's Eric Dyer with a volley. But it's offside. But I think this will be checked by VAR. Gosh. Good volley, though, from Dyer. Oh, VAR's having a look at it. Oh, it's tight. It's tight. He might just be off, you know. Does that come off Chelsea head? No, it comes off a Spurs head. Oh, it's tight, this. This is tight. Oh, VAR's zooming in. Why are they zooming in? What would he look at there? Still waiting for them. Still waiting to do the lanes. Well, come on, do the lanes because...
Looks tight. I think he's up. If it's come off this... If it comes off the Spurs player's head, he's offside.
Yeah.
He's not... No, it should be a goal. It came off the Chelsea defender. I think it came off the Chelsea defender, so that should be onside. Because when the ball was originally played in, he was onside.
He's offside.
It's offside?
Yeah. It's offside. By his hand.
But it's
Because it comes off the Spurs player, Roly.
I didn't think it did because they showed a different angle to that one and it didn't look like it touched the Spurs player.
Yeah, it does. It comes off his head.
I think that's the wrong angle to be looking at it. You have the angle from the other side. The first one they showed it from the other side, it didn't look like it touched the defender at all. Sorry, the Spurs player at all.
Stephen says Man U and Chelsea pay overinflated fees for average players, but at best it's funny how we play our best when at least expected. Spuds have been peeled now, says Julie. Absolutely. Jackson, this game's been a thriller, says Beer. Well, yeah, Michael Oliver may be the smooth criminal. Ray says, bet where you were in the gala end when we played Oxford when the youth team was showing off the FA trophy.
How can he be offside by hand? Because hand, you can't play the ball with a hand. I think it's a bad one by VAR. I don't think
It is offside, Roly.
I know they're giving it offside, but I don't think it's touched the. Yeah.
Gary says, who's doing VAR or Arteta?
Yeah. I don't think it's touched the Spurs player. From the angle from the other side, it looked like it clearly missed him.
Julie says, Poch stuffing his old club. Joel says, will Spurs fans and manager now throw a fit like Arteta? Alan says, we need a top.
Surprised that Arteta didn't ask for the game to be replayed. He did everything but.
Alan says, we need Tottenham pulled back a bit, can't go too far clear.
Yeah.
Pitch will be flooded with tears if it was Arteta, says Julie. Spurs put the ball in the back of the net. Ian's on. Hi, lads and lasses. Hi, Ian. How are you, mate? Nice to see Spurs getting clipped in it, Ian. Trippier's old mate, Dyer. VAR's worked overtime tonight, hasn't it, just? Alan says Chelsea are poor they are, aren't they?
They've really struggled.
Says, sadly, there's only one Geordie in the team tomorrow unless Eddie surprises us all with Dummett and Miley. Volley from Dyer. Looks like he's getting an England caller from Southgate. Says Coffee. Julie says, I think it's offside. Poch not crying, taking note Arteta. Looks on to me, says Mighty Win. Disallowed. 9 men, no goal. And no crying like their North London counterparts, says Julie. Spurs may be on a lucky run, but Dyer scoring is too far. He was offside by his foot. Arteta. Gary says Jackson scores the winning goal. You can't beat it. Nice one, Gary. Hey, the Michael Jackson jokes are coming out tonight, aren't they? You know, we've had the Thriller. We've got the Smooth Criminal. Now we've got Beat It. Clipney wanted Spud's game replayed. That's true. Spurs and Arsenal will not win the league. No, they won't. Spurs won't win the league. Julie says, beat it. No one wants to be defeated. Oh, God. That's all because I started off that Michael Jackson joke. So look, we're looking forward to the game tomorrow. It is on TNT Sports, so do keep an eye out for that one. Sure to be a great game. And let's hope we come out winning on top. I think we can win 2-0 easily, but it's going to be a difficult game. But let's hope we have a shooting boots on this time. But if you have liked what you see, please do smash that like. If you haven't done so already, please do give it a like. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe and be part of this great community. And the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows as well.
Just to keep the Michael Jackson themes, I think Modric has been really bad.
Yeah. Absolutely. Ronald says the Arse are a East London club. Michael Jackson Hamas fans always blowing bubbles. Says Mighty Win.
That's terrible.
Mighty Win's on fire tonight. Splat, I think 2-1. The 2 goals between either Wilson, Gordon, and Mickey. Nice one. Spurs will drop points. Yeah, we'll beat them. Don't you worry. Comment of the night, Julie. The only thing I don't blame it was on the boogie. Says Spear. As you come to King's Cross train, you can clearly see the Etihad Stadium. King's Cross on the train, you can see the Etihad Stadium. I think she means the Emirates. Jackson are making Chelsea remember the times they used to win games. Remember the times, yeah. Well, we are looked upon as smooth criminals now, says Trolls. Pretty Bubble says coffee. All Chelsea have said it's easy as A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. I don't care who wins this game. It doesn't matter because I'm black and white, absolutely. But we just want to see Spurs getting beat, don't we? Oops, had a story there, says Julie. If she meant Emirates, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you see that. I've seen that as well, Julie. When you go into the King's Cross, you see the Emirates Stadium. Yeah, it's. I hope they've got under soil heating there because it may be flooded with the tears from Arteta. You know. But anyway, guys, we're coming to the end of the show now, and it's been a great night. Well, thank you once again for being part on this channel. It's a pleasure. And as I say, if you haven't yet smashed that like, do so on the way out. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Just helps keep the channel towards the top of the search and means new viewers find the channel as well. So that's absolutely fantastic. And if you are new to the channel, do smash the subscribe as well. It's well worth it. Thank you. Mad Max says he'd rather have Old Trafford. Would be less distance for them to travel. They would like to have Old Trafford in London because then they wouldn't have far to travel to Old Trafford, would they? Dortmund 1, 2 and 3. How are the lad, says Ronald. Absolutely, mate. It's like Bruno G said at his wedding. The girl is mine. Excellent shows always, guys. Cheers, Flat. Thank you very much. You didn't get the pun, lol. Bye, Tony, Roly, and all. Bye to you, Coffee. I predicted Chelsea to win 2-1. Mudrik's just been booked for a foul on the keeper. I predicted Chelsea to finish third behind us in second. Still think they'll come good.
Well, I'm not.
Oh, he's really took the keeper out there. Is VR going to look at this one? That could be borderline a red. No, it's not. Great shows always, says Julie. Thank you very much. Night, everybody. Take care. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you later, mate. Enjoy the game. Great show, says Trolls. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Ian says, great shows, guys. Cheers, mate. Bia says, this show, you can't beat it. Lee says, been spot on tonight, Tony and Roly and everyone. Thank you very much, Lee. Let's win at Dortmund, says Julie. Absolutely. Gary says, the thing I like tomorrow is a photo of Heidi Klum in the shower. Take care, all, and have a great night, you too. Watch Captain Scholar and the Mysterians. Arteta is in there. Gary shakes head. 1-0 tomorrow, says Alan to the tune. Yeah, cheers, mate. See, Lee's got one in. Say, Chelsea crap. There's 9 minutes of added on time in this game. Wayne says, great show, Tony, Roly. My score prediction 2-0. Wilson and Gordon. How are you, the lads? Absolutely. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the game, says Gary. You too, mate. And yeah, it's been a fantastic show. And so remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. It's bye-bye from me.
It's bye-bye from me.
And mighty win. Well done, boys. Shut eye before 6:50 a.m. flight to Eric Land. Yeah, safe flight, mate. Enjoy the game. Stay safe. And see you very soon again on the channel, mate. And enjoy it tomorrow. Even if you're not there, you're not got a ticket there, find a nice bar, get a couple of nice steins of German beer and enjoy the game. Until then, how are you, the lads?